Well, hello, hello, hello. And we are live with Three Crones and the Woo Woo. How are you ladies doing today? I want to introduce to you Krista Ducharme, Joanne Angel Barry Colon. Hi, ladies. How has your week been?
It's been
Crazy.
great. Busy? Great. See, we did it again.
We're gonna have to go through drills. Okay, Joanne goes first, then Krista, then yeah, whatever.
I think it's just fun to just do it at the same time.
I
And
think
I
so
do too.
see what we say.
A lot more
There we
laughter this
go.
way.
That's right. That's right.
Awesome stuff. All right, so this week, we've got so much to celebrate this week. First and foremost, happy birthday, Marine Corps! Hoorah!
Woo, woo. Semper Fi, devil dogs.
If you are a Marine, please make a comment down below so that we can tell you happy birthday and celebrate your purpose for being and protecting us for longer than America's been America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're awesome. Love our devil dogs.
Awesome
All right.
stuff. And then, so I want to. I was going to give a shout out to Krista's husband, but he doesn't qualify today. He's in the Air Force.
No, Navy.
Navy.
Oh, please.
Navy. My
Oh,
bad.
please,
Sorry.
not
My
Air
bad.
Force.
So
Hey, I
he's
know better
kind
than
of
the Army.
he's kind of birthday adjacent. The Navy is kind of the redheaded stepchild of the Marines, or vice versa. Which way does that
Yeah.
go?
So the Navy is the Uber for the Marine Corps.
Oh, gotcha. I love it. I love it. And then tomorrow being Veterans Day, I want to make sure that we educate people here. Veterans Day is a celebration of the people who have served and lived.
Yes,
Yes.
that are currently alive and walking the planet at the moment. That is Veterans Day.
Yes.
Yes.
It's different from Memorial Day where we honor those who served and did not live.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yay, we've got a lot to celebrate this week, and I know Joanne picks up on a lot of the crazy that's been happening this week, not just in the physical reality of the election and the results and what's still ongoing in our world, but also, just I'll let you fill that in, Joanne. Where have you been picking up on the crazy?
Oh, there's just been a lot of crazy with I guess it's just a matter of the unsettling because people like concrete answers. And being that there's just a lot of things in the air, theoretically, people are not feeling really easy and calm and happy because there is a lot of fluff. I'm going to use the word fluff in the air. So yeah,
It's
so
like pollen.
yeah, exactly. I'm sort of feeling that energy. And interesting enough, as ironically as it is, now we've been in this pandemic, what, 8 months?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. 8 months we're in the pandemic, and I've been actually in my business for 8 months where I'm here every day. Unfortunately, not working the same amount of hours I was before, not seeing the same amount of clients that I was before. But 8 months I'm doing this. Yesterday, first time ever, inspectors are on my block. First time ever. My front door is open, and all of a sudden I see this little head pop in, and I'm like, yeah. So he like sort of threw me off my loop and gave me a whole list of things I need to have in order for my business to operate. And I'm like, really? I'm like, 8 months, and all of a sudden you people are popping out, and there must have been 8 of them on the block. Now there's not even 8 stores on the block, but there were 8 of them on the block. So yeah, so that sort of threw me off, because I had to get my whole list and reach out to the clients that I do see to let them know there's a new protocol and please follow it, so I can open my doors. And again, noting that if I'm working, I don't even think I'm working 25% of my business. It's quite interesting. I was actually thinking about it while I was working out. which was really interesting because it didn't dawn on me until I was working out. When we think about numbers today, 11, 10, 20, 20.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to write those numbers down on a piece of paper, you may want to, because when we think about it, it's got 3 ones in our date. And those who are familiar with angel numbers, 3 ones is a message to keep your thoughts positive. Keep your thoughts positive. That's the 3-1 energy. And then we have with the 2020, let's take those zeros out of the way for just a moment, although they are important. We'll just take them out for just a moment. We get a 22, which is our master number, our master builder. So when we think about keeping our thoughts positive and the master builder, what are we building? What do we want to build today on this 11th month and 10th day of the 11th month? So it's about new beginnings, but being sure we keep our thoughts positive so we can build being that master builder that we actually are. And we're going to bring those zeros back in to that 2020 again, where the zeros are representations of potential. So what potential and what choices can we make today that is a lot different than we made yesterday? So we can build something bigger than we were building yesterday. And when we take those 2 2s, we have our 4, which is about our foundation that we are in today and how different our foundation is going to be as we move forward. And when we think about the cosmic world where our planets are, we still have a few planets in retrograde. Not for long, though, guys, not for long, because as I mentioned, I think last week, Mars will be going direct on one of my favorite days of the year, Friday the 13th.
I love Friday the 13th.
It's a great day.
Yes, it's going direct on Friday the 13th. For those of you who have no idea what Mars is associated with, it's all about the war and also very angry and frustrated. So when we think about that energy of the war and anger going direct on Friday the 13th, I always like to say Friday the 13th is, like, in my opinion, very similar to Halloween. It's the witch's day, and it's a day to set spells. So I'm going to invite every one of you who are watching, listening, what spell would you like to set on Friday the 13th as Mars goes direct? Because again, now that Mars is going direct, the energy of the anger and the warrior, the war for that matter, is no longer standing still, which actually means that things are going to start to move, where people have sort of been reflecting on their anger. And now they're going to get to burst it out, so to speak. So I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but there is no such thing as good or bad. But what I do ask you to do is just set your spell. How would you like to utilize this amazing Mars energy going forward on Friday the 13th? So that is my forecast for today. I think it's enough to keep you all sort of wondering and planning, as opposed to diving into anything else. So that's what I have for you guys today.
Awesome. Thanks for the great report. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to be in my seat for all of it because I know there's some really good stuff in there that I know I missed when I disappeared for a second. But, you know, I want to talk a little bit about that Mars energy. And here's the thing. We've been told through society for hundreds of years that Friday the 13th is a bad thing. My experience for myself, I'm seeing nods from both of you as well. I don't think our experience of it is the same as we've been told. No. And, you know, you get lore from all kinds of different things, but especially for us 3 Crones, why would that be? Kristen, I know you've got some answer to that.
Well, for me, when it comes to a lot of the lore, you have to look back, and I really wish I had gone back to look at it. And I did it I did it 3 years ago, because my husband went to his new job on the ship, and it was the executive officer. That means you're second in command. And he took over on Friday the 13th. It was April, Friday the 13th. And so, of course, he's like, it's Friday the 13th. How should I react to this? And I just said, for me, we went back and we looked at the lore of it for the fun of it. But I said, ultimately, you can just look at the energy of it. What are you feeling in this? And the stories of Friday the 13th, for me and my personal experiences, have always been positive. My parents had their first date on Friday the 13th.
Oh.
And they're still married. And by the way, Mom's watching. Hi, Mom.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Yeah, happy birthday, Mom. But yeah, so Friday the 13th, it's all about how,
we should clarify, Mom's not a Marine. Mom's actual birthday is today.
It is actually today. Yeah, she's not a Marine. She and the Marine Corps share the birthday today. Yeah. She's much younger than the Marine Corps.
I'm sure she's glad you clarified that.
Well, we'll be getting comments momentarily, I'm sure. So yeah, no, but Friday the 13th, for me, it's just always been, it's kind of like black cats. I love them. I find them lucky. I don't find them to be bad luck. I find that when I see them, it's an anomaly. And that's what happened with Friday the 13th. It wasn't something that was happening every month. So it was like all of a sudden someone picked up, oh my God, Friday the 13th. And maybe, I don't know, a ladder fell or a bucket or something. And then, they started associating.
You know what? I think I may have a clue to that right there. Because
okay, what?
Back, when we were all tribal, right?
Yes.
Women, I may be sharing secrets out of school here, but men, close your ears. Okay, this womanly secret, you may not be ready for it yet. But women have a menstrual cycle. And women naturally tend to sync up with the other women around them, right? But they called it the moon cycle because it seemed to coincide with the phases of the moon. Mm-hmm. And ovulation happens on the 13th day. Okay, now here. You have 13 moon cycles in a year. Ovulation happens among all of the women in the tribe on the same day. Now, if a man is telling this story, that's going to be a bad day. Okay? So as far as I'm concerned, that is the pure basis of why people say that Friday the 13th is a bad thing. And we women go, what the hell are you talking about? What do you think, Joanne? With numerology, you probably have a whole different angle to come at it from that's got a lot of power to it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
yes, and interesting enough, I haven't even evaluated the numbers based on numerology at this point. But interesting, when we think about the 13 in itself, it's the 1 and 3 comes out to a 4 energy. So it is about finding that balance in that 1 and 3, that what we are creating in such a new way. And it really is a new way. I myself love the number 13. And as I said, I feel it's just a day of spells. Like whatever it is you want to create in your day on that particular day, it's almost as I would like to say, it's almost as powerful as like 11/11. And when we think about it, here we have tomorrow, yes, tomorrow, 11/11, and then Friday, the 13th. We have that one day in between where we get to actually breathe for a minute, breathe, and then dive right back in. So the way I see it is, if there is anyone out there who is looking to manifest their biggest desires, this is the week. Well, for that matter, this is the month to do that. But this is the most powerful week to really embrace whatever it is you want to do. And the different spells that you can actually implement to make these things happen. Now, you're probably asking yourself, well, what are the spells?
That's exactly what I was asking myself.
What do you want them to be?
Yeah, well, I mean, I can share some spells with you guys here, or I can invite you to go over to my own personal page, or come join me on Monday, this Sunday night, which is my new moon meditation, and I'll be sharing some spells there on the new moon, which is this Sunday. So, which would you like to have? You want the spells here, or do you want to come join me on Sunday and find out some spells?
I want to know all about the Sunday stuff, but I would still like to have like one little taster spell. Can you give us a taster spell?
I'll give you a taster, just a little taster, just a little taster. Now, this spell that I have, it's a real fun one. It's real easy, and all it involves is a bottle of water, paper, your thoughts, and a freezer.
Okay.
Okay.
Chris is like, what?
The freezer. You've thrown me off with the freezer. But
you
okay,
gotta store
I'm
your
with
thoughts in the freezer, Krista.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing wrong.
Exactly. So what you want to do here is you want to write something down on paper, whatever it is that has been creating so much resistance for you, that's preventing you from manifesting your desire. Whatever that is, and you want to write it clearly out on that paper. Once you've completely written, let me go back a second. Upon doing this, you also want to light a tea light candle.
Mm-hmm.
And in the time frame, you want that tea light candle to stay lit the entire time as this process is taking place. And it might actually stay lit a little longer once the process is finished. So you lit the tea light, you're writing out whatever it is, that one thing that's creating your resistance. And believe me, you all know what your resistance is because you're focusing on it all the time. So write it down on paper. Once it's completely written, and my suggestion is to write it in pencil, not pen. And why pencil and not pen? Theoretically, when you think about pencil, it can be erased. Yeah. And this is what we really want to happen. Mm-hmm. You write it in pen, it's like lead. It stays there. Yeah. So now you've written whatever it is that you're resisting. You now take it, you fold it up, and you're going to have that bottle of water. You're going to stick the paper in the bottle of the water.
Okay.
And then what you're going to do is you're going to take that bottle of water. Now, I myself usually intuitively pick a number. And whatever that number is the time frame that I actually stick it in the freezer. I don't just stick it in. I just intuitively say what's the best time, and whatever number I get is when it goes in the freeze. So I take the bottle, I stick it in the freezer, and once I actually literally put it in the freezer, I am saying out loud, I am releasing my resistance. I am freezing my resistance to this situation. So I am now open to manifesting my desire.
Nice.
Once you've said it, you close the freezer door, and that's it. You don't have to go back to look at it. You can leave it there for as long as you want to. Now, if you're like me, at the end of the year, give and take, I have a whole lot of bottles in my freezer. Whole lot of bottles, and like my husband would say to me, so are these bottles for us to drink eventually, or you throw them out? I said, no, you don't want to drink from these bottles, you want to throw them out. And I do. I take them and I just chuck them in the garbage, and that's it. So that's one of the spells, and it works like magic.
That would be awesome.
Like magic. Yes.
I'm going to give that. I will give that a go. What about you, Gayle?
Yeah, I definitely am too. I'm just not sure, how many pieces of paper can you fit into a bottle?
As many as you want. I mean, it's, whatever size bottle you want to use, it's your choice. You can use a real big one. You can use a gallon one.
Oh, I'm just making a joke about my resistance is the size of War and Peace right now.
Yes.
Yours is only War and Peace?
Yeah, right? She's got the entire Britannica encyclopedia over there. Krista does.
Yeah.
No, that is an absolutely fantastic little taster spell. I love that.
Love
And
that.
for all of our audience that decides to do that, let us know that you decided to do it. And then in a few weeks, like let us know what showed up for you out of that. I'm always like super excited to hear what the results other people get as well. Because I don't know about you, but for me, it's like I did this magic, this showed up. Yeah, that didn't really go that way, did it? Yeah, and then your brain starts to make logic out of magic, and it just
Yes.
ruins it,
Yes. And one thing I do want to make a note for those who are like me, do not put a time frame to when it will happen. Alleviate the time frame, because it can happen the minute you close that freezer door. The minute you close the freezer door, whatever it is you're looking to manifest can happen that quickly. But if you turn around and say to yourself, oh, well, in a few days, I'll go back and see what's happening, you're already setting resistance of it happening even sooner. So let go of any of that and just know that it's going to happen. It's happening right now as we speak because we did the work.
There you go.
And it's magical. It's magic.
I love it. All right, Krista, my dear, are you ready to tell us all about the crystals that we can bring into this?
I really am. I'm kind of excited about, well, I'm always excited. Let's be for real. It's a crystal. Of course I'm excited. So I have to add in, before I pull the crystal in, I need to add into Joanne's energy forecast that she's been doing, and just piggyback onto the fact that everything, 11/11, 11/13, and it's every other day, right? There's one day in between. Guess what? There's only one day from 11/13, which is Saturday, and then it is the new moon. So on 11/13, Friday the 13th, we are actually beginning to be in the presence of that energy, of the new moon energy. And new moon is about creating. That's when you plant your seeds. Farmers go out during the new moon time frame and time period to get their grounds ready to plant their seeds, so that by the time the next quarter moon comes and they plant them, they're already starting to grow with the full moon. It's really amazing. Farmer's Almanac is full of a lot of really cool things,
Yeah, it really is.
So it really is. Do you know the best time to actually get your hair cut and your eyebrows waxed, ladies? Do you know this?
I'm confused about it, but I knew it once. What is it?
It's actually like going in right now. So after that last quarter moon going in towards the new moon, because then it will take longer for it to grow. And I actually did an experiment on myself a couple of years back. And I did 6 months where I was in cycle of getting my eyebrows waxed with the full moon. And it was like, it only lasted like 3 weeks. Then I went on to a cycle of doing it with the new moon. I was like 6-8 weeks in between eyebrow waxings.
Wow.
So yeah.
Now does this also apply for color or just cut and eyebrows?
I have never tried it with color, but I know with cut and eyebrows, I can speak of those two things. And it's the same when I get my hair cut. If I'm getting my hair cut more in the full moon cycle, I find I have to go far more frequently than if I do the new moon cycle.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. It is.
It's really fascinating.
Isn't it really kind of cool? All right. So now on to the awesome thing of the crystal. I know we digress, don't we?
We do. That's half the entertainment factor of this entire show.
Time with us. Just as an FYI, this is not an unusual thing. So the crystal that I have picked is celestite.
That's gorgeous.
Gorgeous. I took a really great picture that I will post, and I've been posting it into our thread of the event. I also post it on Dimensional Healing. And Gayle and Joanne, you can, because I upload it to our shared folder, you guys post it there so people can see it.
Okay.
All right. So in any case, this is celestite. And I chose this one because it is a great calming, centering, and connecting to our greater and higher purpose kind of stone. This stone is fantastic if you're someone who's having a hard time sleeping. And the energy, that's one of the things I've been getting from a lot of people is that their sleep pattern, seems to be just a little bit off. And I was like, celestite helps with that. It's a wonderful thing, but it's great for calming, like I said. And the energy between what's going on up in the universe as well as on the planetary level really needs us to find our balance, to find our inner balance and our inner self and our voice, not voice just to vocalize, but voice to hear as well. And so this celestite, not just this particular one, but the stone celestite, it is brilliant for that. And when we were talking about this the other day, Gayle, I was like, that's the one that kept coming to me. It's like, it's the one that I needed to share with everybody for the week. Another really cool thing about celestite, as a side note, if you're somebody who's a speaker or you're somebody who presents or teaches or has to get up and perform in front of people, celestite is a really great one for centering, or focusing your mind, centering your thought, and helping to alleviate stage fright.
Nice.
So on a side note, and just as another side note, this is just a really cool thing for all three of us. This particular piece, every show that we've done, it has been with us so far.
Awesome.
Nice.
It sits right here next to me.
Very cool.
All right.
I feel more tranquil than I should right now. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, because while you were doing that, I was invoking my celestite that's here in the office, too. It's hiding right now. I don't see it from this angle. It's such a great stone. Now, have you noticed that if you... learned by example here. If you leave celestite out in the sunshine, it gets lighter in color.
Yeah,
it bleaches
does.
out.
Yes, it is one of those ones. So the science side of it, I can add some science with this as well. The science side of celestite is that it is most hardness. It's not as hard as quartz. It's only a 3. Sometimes it's a 5, whereas quartz is up there as a 7. And yes, because it is such a pale blue, it bleaches very easily. If you need to recharge or you feel like it needs a bath, you can put it out with the moon, or else here is something. I haven't tried it yet, but I just read about it and I was like, oh, I'm going to give it a go. Wrap it in a blue cloth and put it in your drawer for a vacation.
Okay.
Yeah, for like a moon cycle, and put it in the drawer for vacation. And the blue from the fabric will help to bring it back to what is called its dominated oscillatory rate, which is what a stone actually vibrates at. Yeah,
That's
I told you
beautiful.
I can bring this science.
I love it. No, that's fantastic. I love that part of it.
Yeah.
I'm one of those strange people that knows that, or believes that someday we are going to be able to prove the existence of God through science, not fairy tale.
There you go. Now that would be, how awesome would that actually be? That would be really cool.
Wouldn't it though? That's my impossible task. Impossible task.
Well,
Yeah, exactly. All righty. So, Joanne, what are your thoughts on celestite and its properties, and how that can wind in and empower the magical work with this week in the planets.
I I definitely would recommend using, especially for the sense of, as Krista said, it's about the voice, but not for speaking, but really connecting with spirit. Because again, we do have the amazing gateway that is open due to the month of November. And I truly believe anywhere we can get a little bit of assistance to helping us connect with the spirits and our loved ones and angels to gain the insight that they want to give us, why not use it? Why not use it?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
I think Krista mentioned this last week in regards, and I mention it as well when I speak about my crystal healing class. You don't actually need the actual crystal to gain the benefit of the healing. So if we have viewers out there who are sitting back and saying, well, I don't have any crystals, I have to run out and get. You can if you want to, and we do have a great sponsor
Yes.
that you can get your crystals from.
Everythingjuftrocks.com.
Exactly. But you do not need one at the moment to gain the benefit of it. So as Krista was displaying the beautiful crystal, that itself, just by seeing it, because that's how powerful they really are, that you can gain the benefit of it. And I myself, when I first started working with crystals, that's how I started. It wasn't a matter of having crystals in my hand. It was about researching. And then working with one of my healers who I worked with, who started my collection up, so to speak. But they're very powerful, and you might as well use them to your highest advantage as you do move through your spiritual journey.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I'll share something about this particular piece of celestite. It took me 7 years for us to find one another.
Really? How did that go?
Well, I was looking, I had said to the universe, I am looking for a piece of celestite. And so I would find pieces, but nothing that spoke to me. So this one I found on my daughter's birthday. Isn't it wonderful when you find a birthday present for you on your kid's birthday, right?
Well, it became a mommy day. Why not?
There you go.
Yeah.
So
It's much your birthday as is hers.
It is. So we were at a state fair in Washington, and we're just walking around, and we were walking in one of the barns, and I know you two understand this, and anybody who has worked with crystals will understand when I say all of a sudden you start feeling someone's calling me, and it's like, and your little antennas go up, and it's like, which way? And so I'm like looking all around, and I knew it was a crystal. I just couldn't figure out where it was coming from. Yeah, and then I saw it, and I was like on the other side of a barn when I saw this, and I'm like, that's the celestite I've been looking for.
That is so cool, though. I love stories like that. I really do.
Yeah. And so don't think, to go on what Joanne says, I mean, you don't need to run out. And sometimes you'll buy a crystal or you'll get a crystal and you're like, okay, I'm only its keeper temporarily. And that happens a lot too. Yeah.
Yep.
How many times have you guys had a crystal and it's like, oh wait, that's not for me. And you meet the person it's for, and you're like, well, it was nice knowing you. Goodbye. Here.
You are so generous, Krista. I'm like, no, you said you wanted to be with me.
Yeah, I pretty much go with Gayle. I have that same personality. Although for me, I do carry extra crystals in my bag. The ones that I feel off for other people, I have my own special ones that they ain't going nowhere. They're mine.
No, I have those. I do. I have those. But then there are others. It's like, oh.
Yeah, there is kind of a difference where you kind of feel which ones really want to stay with you and which ones don't. In my case, they tend to just disappear. They don't, Anyways, I have an assignment for our audience, okay? So if you want to work with some I keep wanting to say Celestine. Celestite.
It is. It's both. Both names are correct.
Okay,
yes.
Cool. All right, so hers is Celestine. She's the lady. Anyways, if you want to work with that during the new moon stuff this weekend, all right, the first thing to do is, look at the picture that Krista is going to post of Celestine, our poster rock for today, or for this week's stuff. Then I want you to get onto everythingjustrocks.com and make an appointment with Athena to do a FaceTime tour of the shop and pick your own Celestite. You don't have to name it Celestine. You can name it Justine. You can name it, whatever you want to.
Whatever you want.
And continue your work with the visual of either a screenshot of the rock that you picked at Everything Just Rocks with Athena or with Krista's while you're waiting for your new friend to arrive. All right?
Yeah.
So get your stuff in order and get your forever Celestite from everythingjustrocks.com. All right. Now we are going to go into some wordplay today.
Okay. I'm looking forward to
Harmony. And that's
Harmony.
completely. Yes, harmony is our word for today. And oh my goodness, we could use some harmony. We have in America, especially right now, a split symphony. And we got the war drums over there. We got the trumpets over there. And we got the timpani over here and the xylophone and all of the voices. And guess what? We're not singing the same frickin' song, people. We need to get on the same page, right? And that does not mean that your note, your piccolo, has to sound the same as their oboe. They're gonna be different. Each individual has different frequencies, different vibrational rates, different ways of expressing. However, a piccolo and an oboe can work very well together to weave ambiance and an environment. Now, when I was doing a little bit of research for this, because I'm a big fan of the word harmony. As a Libra, I like diplomacy. I like things working in concert and collaboration with each other, all of that. And I like balance, right? So I had to really go and look, well, what's the real definition of harmony as opposed to what is my idea of what harmony is, right? So here, check this out. Merriam-Webster says that harmony is the combination of musical notes in a chord. That's pretty simple, right? We can all agree on that. Then it goes further to say it's a pleasing arrangement of parts of agreement and accord and internal calm and tranquility, right? So not only is it all of us singing our own unique note, but there is some collaboration involved to make it a seemingly pleasant sound, right? We can scream at each other all we like. That's not harmony, right? But we can definitely dig into what can be harmony by looking at a couple of other clues in the definitions. Now, the third little definition here from Merriam-Webster is that it's an interweaving of different accounts into a single narrative. That's also harmony, right? So one of the things that all of these definitions depend on, and none have pointed out, is that your note, any individual note in any harmony, must be clear in order for the harmony to not sound discordant. So when we're out here and we're trying to looking at other people not being harmonious, we have to turn back inward and go, how harmonious, how clear is my sound? How uplifting is my sound? How pleasant is my sound? What am I contributing to the chord that I could do better? And if we each and every one of us put our attention on our own chord, our own note, and how it contributes to the pleasing interaction and interweaving of our collective story. Only through that can we have harmony on this planet. So I encourage you very, 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 very much to clear your throat. Get your mind straight about
This will
what it
help.
is that you're trying to collaborate. What was that?
It's like, this will help.
Yes, exactly. Awesome stuff. All right, what are your ladies' thoughts? I gotta be honest. I feel like I tend to get into ministerial mode, and I don't know if it works or not.
Well, thankfully we're kind of a go with the flow kind of podcast, right?
Yeah.
Our structure is more, fluid. So but it's good. No, what you said, I totally agree with. And the fact that we can have our own, we can make our own sounds, and we can make our own noises, but understanding that if we're making noise that is just adding to noise rather than making noise that is creating music. And I like the fact that you use the music. What's the word I'm thinking? Analogy. There we go. Woo! Sorry. Having a moment, brain there. We're using the music analogy because everybody can understand that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you like classical music, or if you like rock music, or if you like jazz music, or if you're punk alternative. If you're over here playing classical Bach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yet you're surrounded by punk, you guys aren't never going to be able to blend together unless you find a common chord or a common note or something so you can hear one another.
And to that point, Metallica did a really, really good job with Brahms' lullabies. It's not a matter of if you're heavy metal headed that you can't get into classical music. That's not true at all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, it's not.
Right? We bring our talents and we create something uplifting.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Did you know that Metallica did an album of lullabies?
I think I did. I think I did. My
You didn't know
husband
that?
loves Metallica.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, my nephew, my nephew, the rock star. That's what he would play for his daughter when she was a baby. I had no idea until then either. But look it up; they're really, really well done.
Excellent.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm surprised Kevin didn't. We own every Metallica album.
Well, this might have been after your kids were grown up.
It could be.
He might still be interested, but this was. I mean, my niece is only like 7 or 8 years old.
Oh yeah, my kids are much older now. Yeah, my youngest is 18. So.
Yeah. So get it for Kevin for Christmas.
You know what? That's awesome. I hope he's not watching.
And if he is, he already knows.
Yeah.
Oh, well. But that's an awesome idea.
Fantastic stuff. All right, my ladies. So free for all. What do you guys want to talk about? Do we have any questions in the Facebook?
I don't have any questions as of right yet, but I can say that Natan Brad. Okay, sorry. Natan, I apologize. Natan mentions Friday the 13th was considered unlucky because of the persecutions of the Templar,
Yes.
the Knights Templar.
Yes.
I'm like, that's right. I remember reading about that.
Thanks for bringing that up, Natan.
That's what I said.
Yeah, because that is, and it's another good reason why a man would say it's a bad day. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, is there? We have some watchers, we have some viewers, so I don't know if anybody else has any other questions. Go ahead. I'm manning
Awesome.
the Facebook page at the moment.
We already need a virtual assistant.
Yeah, we already do.
Awesome. Well, going forward this week, we have a whole bunch of stuff that is going to do a good job of focusing in on exactly what it is that we want to create, right? We're still all in this mode, like Krista said at the top of the show. We want immediate resolution. And I think that my generation, my kids' generation for sure, we've been programmed to think this has to be fixed in half an hour or less, right? Everything was always resolved by the end of the show on the sitcoms we grew up with, right? So we have this sense of why don't we have a definitive answer right now? And here is the uncomfortable space of uncertainty and not knowing for us to, to kind of learn how to float in, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So the Celestite, definitely will help that along the way. Joanne's little taster spell. Get your stuff ready. Pick your bottle of water. What is it? What is your resistance that you want to move out of the way? Because I'm going to make a prediction here and now that next week is going to have the energy of we have walked through a wall and the entire forest of beauty is just right ahead of us to walk into. It just, for me, it just feels like there is a very definitive shift going to happen this weekend with Mars going direct again, with the new moon, with all of these other things that are coming into play. So prepare yourself strengthfully for whatever it is that you want to create, with getting that resistance out of the way. There's nothing in your way from having what you want. So, next week is going to be amazing, but only if you use these tools to prepare for it this week. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes. Definitely makes sense to me. Yes.
Yes, totally.
All right.
And I'll thank you. Next week the new moon is Scorpio. So,
Yeah.
And you're welcome.
Yes.
Joanne, give us once again where those other spells are on your website.
It's actually my class, and I'm going to be offering on Sunday, November 15th, which is this Sunday, 8 p.m. They can just go directly to my Facebook page, and they can sign up directly with me, or they can go on to Eventbrite. Now, if they do Eventbrite, they're going to be paying a little extra because Eventbrite charges. So the actual event is called a New Moon Ritual Meditation. And we're going to be working together for 40 minutes. And in that 40-minute time, we're going to do a meditation to connect with the new moon, a ritual that I'm going to be actually showing them so they can actually apply it and use, and a whole lot of other fun. And the interesting thing about this class is that I'm going to be going forward with additional classes because this is one of many to come as I've been guided to bring back my moonlight meditations, and they're coming back. Yes.
Awesome.
8 p.m. They can sign up and join me via Zoom. It will be a lot of fun and definitely a lot of spells.
Nice.
I
Any
like
final
it.
thoughts for you, Krista?
I don't really have any final thoughts. Other than no, you know what? I do have one final thought.
Like, that's not possible.
I do. I lied. All right. So no, with all this crazy energy, I'm just going to remind us we're heading into the end of 2020, right? And 2020 really has been one of those roller coaster years. So I'm here to remind you guys that with everything that's been going on and all the crazy that's happening and all the craziness that's going on around you, you really need to turn within and make sure that you're taking care of you on a physical level. So all those doctor's appointments you've been postponing, go make sure you get them. On an emotional level, if you need to talk to somebody, find someone to talk to. and on a spiritual level, which means, tap into yourself. Go join Joanne's, meditation class. I know Gayle does meditations. I need to get my meditations posted, which I haven't been. I need to talk to you guys. Maybe you can help me get those up.
How about you put it on a piece of paper and put it in the water and put it in your freezer?
There you go. There.
Not that I'm not willing to, have the conversation with you, but let's take action too.
Let's take action as well, right? There we go. So yeah, but no, it's about doing those things and taking care of ourselves, because I'm guilty of it, and because I've been focusing on that, and my husband and I both have been focusing on it. It's one of those things. It's like, you know what? If we're focusing on it, other people aren't focusing on it as well. So.
Great advice.
Yeah, that was my thought.
Great advice. I just realized yesterday that with the weather change, I had been drinking like canned sparkling water, 3, 4, 5 cans a day, because there's no sugar in it. It's water, and I was very hydrated through the hottest parts of the summer. And now I've noticed that because it's gotten cold, I'm not drinking the water I should be drinking anymore. Right?
Yeah.
So just putting that out there for everybody else to do an inventory check there too, because with the weather changes, your habits change. So make sure that the self-care habits find a new way to be, right?
Yes, definitely.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank all of our audience for being here with us today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please give a lot of love to our sponsor, everythingjusrocks.com, and tell Athena that the 3 Crones sent you, and go get some nice little crystals. She drops ships. She deliver them right to your house. Also, I want to thank our 3 Crones sponsors: Dimensional Healing with Krista, Creative Command Coaching and Consulting, that's me, and Holistic Fitness New York, that's Joanne Angel Barry Colon. And this is all underwritten by GayleNicholson.com. You can watch us everywhere: Strong Island TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Strong Island Radio Network, as well as on the GayleNicholson.com website, GayleNicholson.com/stream. And once again, thank you all for being here with us, and bless you in the week ahead. We'll talk to you real soon. Bye.
Bye.